Just like jail, top of Youngstown, fuck with the thugs. I like to stare like a happy man, bitch, I come with the thugs. On the streets, try to vibe and weed, got these nuts like boys. Yeah, I'ma give it to him in the worst way. Shouldn't even came here in the first place. In the ocean, fucking me a mermaid. In the sky, fucking me a bird brain. I ain't from the south, but you heard me. Deliver shit like a surplus, such a door and clipboard in the surveys. Who pay the bills in your house? Talk about the Draco constellation, it's a dragon, I chill in the mouth. So much flame, the girl did not count. Yeah, this is a Mortal Kombat, where all the immortals contact. Reptile, reptilian, shake shit, that's some great shit. Throw a bugger to it, and I'm not even hands, better raise it. You can't even reach that far, better rearrange your fate to come and praise it. For yourself, be a Dalmatian, that's when you like 101 Dalmatian. Shots in your face, like you got a smile, hitting burn, baby, burn, like you thought, saying yeah. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Shit that you do when I'm gone, please don't be thinking I'm stupid, you know. I'ma make you fall in love like you was in love, keep it off my show. Yeah, DoelowDaPilotman flew down, I'm aiming a plane right at you, get you caught in the fence. Then I thought the plane back up, then cover some distance, so knowing your body at land. No boy, this trust me, you gon' need some sunscreen, the block be so high, and copy a 10. I survived and say, dog is a man, acting like you sound like a hollers a man. Pick up my face, take a hop in the van, all I got is rap, they gon' stop for a gram. Hey, your main bitch is probably a fan, don't get mad just cause you're not by the man. Damn, fucking with you is not in the plan. Fuck you energy, vampires, but you don't know about nothing. I get you off my mind, soon as I roll a steak, niggas they go smoke an onion. Yeah. You want to be struggling. I niggas still getting flashbacks, but I ain't just see photos of hustling. You will see photos of nothing. Yeah, you a something bitch. Only think about myself through the circumstances, yeah, I'm selfish bitch. I'm a dog, excuse me. I'm a dog. Look into a cat eyes, might say hell, oh my god, where we are. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Shit that you do when I'm gone, please don't be thinking I'm stupid, you know. I'ma make you fall in love like you was in love, keep it off my show. She said, where's we going? Told her to a place where there's no clothing, yeah. Baby, look, we in the air if you notice. The niggas that you and all of your friends are sharing is bogus. Those niggas is shares and douglas, ain't got a mind of their own. Your programs running on their software, got their mind running slow. All they time getting ghosts, they lost the pressure in some light. Lost confessions in the night, have you often stressing out of spite. You are the blessings from the light, know that I got you. My consciousness where but it's earth round, bitch I see hope that I have you. You know I can fight you. Fuck making good when she played the role that he's fighting. Breaking bad, need a chiropractor. Live in the past, minutes now and after. In entertainment, look, I found the actor, but I got on time for no lousy rappers. Yeah, I got a collection of music in all different genres. It's not a problem, bro, so just respect my Anubis. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Baby, you know I'm a dog, please don't mistake my Anubis. Shit that you do when I'm gone, please don't be thinking I'm stupid, you know. I'ma make you fall in love like you was in love, keep it off my show.
The moon in a certain position. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a position where the sun is at. When the moon is there, it's dark. That version of it, Anubis. Anytime you hear ho or hue, we're talking about fall. And we're talking about going into winter before we get into the Who get the donkey of the day? Two separate things, you two. You see what I'm saying? That was two separate things. I want my Dunkin' Donuts deal. You know what I'm saying? I brought way more people to Dunkin' Donuts over the years than any type of six-figure deal y'all gave Megan Thee Stallion for no reason. Shut up. No reason. Shut up. You know what I'm saying now? But what we're going to talk about is how to prepare yourself and how to move. You know what I'm saying? How to duck and dodge and get out the way from these esoteric energies that's going to be on display when we talking about the moon and its phase. for your brain, for you do some strange things for a piece of change, put you in a compromising position with doo-doo stains, and you don't know what else to do. Bars, Don DeMarco, Don. Damn, son, where you find that? Me, you know what I'm saying? Bro, and it's for everybody, you know, everybody. If you're in a position where you can do a lot of negativity, try not to go extreme with it. You know what I'm saying? Put yourself in a position where it's like, I don't want to do that today. I'm going to chill out. But I am going to use this for my creative attributes and stuff like that. And I want y'all to peep game too when it comes into the moon and the full moon specifically. Specifically. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, people be trying to hate. So he said Pacifically. Pacific. This ain't no. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the main thing when you get into any type of debate, religious debate, logical debate. They be waiting. Like, did that person say specific or Pacific? You know what I'm saying? They be waiting. Cats be waiting. You ain't gonna get past that. You ain't gonna be. You could probably be most right about everything. Get ready to get a Nobel Peace Prize. If you say that before you even get to that part, you ain't gonna be able to. You ain't gonna be able to get there. You ain't gonna be able to get to none of your studies you discovered. No cure that you got for everybody. You ain't gonna be able to get to it. As soon as you say Pacific, that's it. They gonna find some way that made you lose the debate. You know what I'm saying? So peep gang. But when we talk about the moon phase, right? Now, specifically, when the moon is full, right? It's the energy that's going to entice you to do those things. And for the most part, that's going to be the main energy you shouldn't do, or carve it up a little bit. And here's the thing. You might have natural qualities where it may have worked last week or a few days before, and it didn't appear to be wrong, even if you went a little extreme with it, if you match the same element, but you might be the same modality or different modality of wherever the moon is full at the moment. Since the moon is getting ready to go, where it's probably there now, the moon is full in Leo. For the most part, being a sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo will put you in that situation where certain energies you see outside of you feel like it's a go. You know what I'm saying? Feel like you could go for it because there's a substantiated quality about it that show you have accomplished that previously. And I'm not talking about accomplishments and y'all biases. I'm talking about things that probably wouldn't in your favor and stuff like that, right? So you would think it's a go, even if it's some assistance there that's giving you the validation, like a person, place, or thing. And then for the most part, you'll go for it. But if you go too extreme, thinking you're going to get the same outcome before, that means you ain't fulfilled. That means you ain't even going through the train of thought or line of reasoning. Like, I ain't even got to do that right now. I already did it. You know what I'm saying? So you put yourself in a position where you don't have to, wrong place, wrong time, and you be the cause of the situation, or you may be the victim due to the fact of it being out of your hand, because it's more of your energy than you just being your own individual person, and that characteristic is just your element. So you're dealing with more of your element, so it becomes you being the main participant in something that's out of hand that you have to experience. So right now that'd be for the fire signs, but if the full moon was in Earth, that'd be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. If it was in water, that'd be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. If it was in air, it would have been in Aquarius, which where the sun is at right now, or Libra or Gemini. So for the most part, fire signs may get challenged, not knowing where they're getting challenged at by God. Some energy that already looked like it's comfortable to go for it, but dealing with the full moon, you're going to be in the makeup of it with your element that's more of it than you. So it's going to be a situation that you think you could participate in, that you will have control over, but it's out of your hand, too much of your energy with other participants and other elements and things of that nature. So the situation will be something that's out of control, something you can't sustain, and you might end up being the cause or the effect if you are on the victim side of it. So you have to be careful if you are Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius during this particular time, and you're reacting and responding to the things in your life like you're unfulfilled, like you didn't get it done yet, and you were supposed to get it done, or something that you have to over exaggerate and think that you have to do it, and it ain't even like that. And for the most part, let's use this for an example. The moon is in Leo right now, so the energy of Leo is expression, how one chooses to express their character, their creativity, and also self-awareness and appearance, and how you feel about that and how you think others may feel about that. So that reactionary expression, all of that is Leo qualities. So if you might be over exaggerating something about your appearance or something about your character or how you think others may see you, and when you go about getting it done while the moon is full in Leo, you end up being in these circumstances because before the moon even got in Leo, you were supposed to already know that the moon is becoming full. And that's the sign of the energies that is full of that energy, full of that modality, full of that sign. So any piece of participant you add of that same energy, whether you a Leo or not, you have possibilities of manifesting a situation where it's made out of that element, just more of it that's out of your hands. And your little piece that you add to it, that's your little bubble. You get washed up in that whole current event, that whole wave. And depending on how extreme the wave is, it can lead you into situations that externally, physically, could put you in harm's way, or lead you into an extreme mistake that you didn't mean to, that allow you to be on the negative side of Leo, even if it ain't dealing with being harmed physically. You could be in a situation where you get extremely embarrassed. You could be in a situation where your appearance actually get put in that situation that you was worried about. And the more you was trying to overcompensate, the more it got a hole poked in it and you wasn't aware. And in that situation, whatever you was trying to do, now you got to be seen in that light. Especially if a lot of y'all was involved in lies and stuff like that. So you the cause of a lie and going to be the effect of the outcome that you over exaggerated, that you had to uphold during this particular time. So judgment is getting looked at, and character is getting looked at. And these is the energies when it comes to appearance, character, expression, creativity, and setting the stage for an event to be a cause or an effect, right? That so it'll be an event whether you're on the stage or not. All of these are energies that you have to sit back and relax on, or you'll be in harm's way. And it can be death also, so be careful, because the full moon it's not it doing it to you, it's just there's things going on. For an example, if a tree grew in your backyard at a time that you didn't want it there because the branches is blocking the backyard or whatever, so you want to call somebody to chop down a tree, or have the cake. It's not the tree itself, like I'm gonna make sure I grow right here when the seed grow just because of this person's house, and I did it on purpose, intentional. No, it's a way of the world, and it just so happened you in sync in that area at the moment, and the in sync energy is just not in your favor at the moment. So it played like that in the mind, and when you're trying to think like God too and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you see the moon, yeah, you see a happening. You know what I'm saying? That's a happening. You just don't know what's happening. And when you have presuppositions and pre-context of humans giving you examples, you pluck from some and see where it's not useful, and you pluck from other areas to see where it does make sense and where you make it get a job about it, as far as astronomy or astrology, however the case may be. But for the most part, it's a broader awareness you have to understand, detaching it from just that. Just like the cloud itself ain't intentionally saying, I'm going to make sure I rain today specifically in your city and not in the next city because of something you did personally. No, it's not that. It's a happening. So it's the same thing when you're in the mind, and you have to understand that when it comes into, for lack of better terms, because I know that a lot, I know y'all might say pseudo, but for lack of better terms, astrology. You know what I'm saying? Astronomy. Astronomy is just the timing. Astrology is just the meaning of the timing. So even if you're not philosophical, related to reality beyond your anatomy, before we get to that, the timing, astronomy, during spring, the meaning of it is going to be you don't got to wear a jacket at that time, and you see certain stuff grow and certain animals out at that time other than other times. Then you see a different nature when it's a different time, because that's what astronomy is, tracking the sun, and different time and studying it, different time summer, you get a different meaning. It ain't the same meaning as springtime, as so forth, as fall and winter. So when you start adding allegories just for your life, yeah, I want to act as the fox. If you're tied into your culture and agriculture and stuff like that, people may try to over exaggerate it, you pseudo, but you might just be having a conversation because internally you and your people understand if it's cold, you want to do something like the fox. You're basically saying, I want to do something hot. I want to do something like the springtime, because we all have a common understanding that foxes come out at this. I'm just using that as an example. We know foxes come out, but I'm just using that example. You know what I'm saying? It may be spring or summertime, and a person expressing their own light too much, so we make a spiritual allegory around it. Hey, won't you be more like the owl? You know what I'm saying? So the owl be more out at fall or wintertime. So you might say, oh, they talk about Suda, they worship owls. No, it's just a conversation and a lingo, but it's a mind state. And if you like decipher the way of interacting, in all actuality, it is much more spiritual and things of that nature. Animism. It's like animism, basically. Without somebody trying to decipher it, being on the opposite end to make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? You're just looking at it how you could understand life better by tying it to things that you see in life. So it's astronomy, timing, meaning, astrology, and then for the most part, it all relates to everybody's anatomy. You know what I'm saying? All of our bodies and nature and the body of the land itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's just to get people in a mind frame that don't know how to see where astrology makes sense. That's what I'm here for. How to not see where it relates to astronomy also, and you don't have to get lost into maybe the institutional mind of it, where you always got to be arguing one side or the other. Hey, this group is for this group for going against feminism, and y'all go out there and protest that. Oh, this is just for astronomy and this way of looking at it, and astrology that's for, you know what I'm saying? That's dichotomy. You have to know how to tie things together and get out of the energy of knowing how to get from the baggage that come with these words due to the fact of other people's biases and them trying to understand things, so you can even understand where they was right and wrong at too before your bias go before you. And then you might be more on a percentage scale of the negative end and miss the gems that was right just because the overall subject matter and whatever the author may have said or whatever the case may be, or the speaker, you go automatically throw everything out that they're saying or whatever the case. And then for the most part, this is where you end up being playing out a characteristic, and anytime we plan out characteristics, it play out in other areas of our life, and that's an area of your life that you're playing out a percentage scale of lack of knowledge. So it's going to be other areas in your life that you see things with the energy you made. We make up our mind before we start to express it and think we doing what we doing. You're walking around with the energy you naturally made first, and you're walking around with the energy of I want to lack knowledge to a certain degree, and it only open up towards things that's more on a percentage scale catered to your bias, some you interested in, and you don't see in the spiritual world how God see it and how God children see it. We see it like that. There's areas that it might be petty to you. It might not be, but when you're building up a mind, it don't have no meaning to it yet, or no good or bad to it yet. It's something you do. And then when you're inside of that spaceship, that mind state, you add more to it and accumulate with it. And if it's an intelligent one, it can help you in other areas in your life you never thought it would have. This would allows you to understand the concept of being intelligent than your peer, than your friend circle, or whatever the case may be, and you hopped out the whip before they did, and then they all went to jail because they all got caught with the gun in the whip and stuff like that. And you ain't think y'all was gonna get put over that day, but your spirit was just like, and it was putting together other stuff from other areas with your creativity and stuff that it still play out as all of our spirits knowing. So that's our other way of seeing, and you was able to catch that. You was able to catch that spiritual eagle eye, other than your friend, other than the driver, other than the homegirl that was sitting next to you in the back seat, or however the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be sensitive to the senses. There's always stuff going on, right? Because it's a happening. So don't just be like, oh, astronomy, yeah, we can study the moon, yeah, we see the moon and stuff like that, but astrology, the meaning behind it, I ain't got nothing to do with it. And I guarantee your grandfather probably died around the full moon. And not to say everybody die around the full moon, and I don't want nobody to die, I hate to even speak that, but I'm just saying, there's other happenings going on, just like you have to separate intentional energies from there's a happening of sunlight condensing, becoming a cloud, spreading out, going over your city based upon the wind current, and wind ain't nothing but water. And then for the most part, when it condenses, you got the water current. And then for the most part, when it rained in your city, that wasn't intentional. It was a happening. You see what I'm saying? It was a happening. So you got to understand it from that lens. That give you a healthier starting point on knowing what you're seeing and coming up with a better decision, or at least start developing more intelligence around something. And then for the most part, you will see how that play out in other areas in your life that you do actually care about, that you're able to see it from a much broader angle and attack it much more better. And then that make you the best musician out of the crew, the best ballerina out of the crew, the best volleyball player out of the crew, the best basketball player out of the crew, the best construction worker out of the crew, the best technician out the crew. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta get it from God. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get into those arguments too deep around individuals that always want to debunk something and stuff like that, you ain't got to bring that into the discussion. And they self-project. But you will give them this energy of wanting to get something out of you. Where you get this talent from. And they want you to repeat over and over again, just in a different way, how you got it yourself and how long you practiced it. But the moment you want to get into what motivated you, the reasoning behind it that made you have that adrenaline and want to do it every day for you to practice and stuff like that, they don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? And then they start saying you crazy and stuff. Then you will start getting this secret shutdown energy, where it's like there's a lot of favoritism all of a sudden start happening with other people. There's people who ain't better than you and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you on a bench, all of a sudden they trick you out your spot. You'll get tricked out your spot. So you just can't be telling everybody what God gave you. Sometimes just let other people, especially people who ain't close to that, just let them believe what they want to believe, and then don't even go too far when they try to get it out of you, because then they'll be trying to do those things and steal it from you, and then that ain't even where you got it from. And next thing you know, they won't be doing nothing but getting mad at themselves, hating on themselves. It'll just look like they doing it to you, and little do you know, that was just your best friend 6 years ago. That was just your best co-worker a few weeks ago, and things of that nature. Why the best family member? Why the sudden change or something like that? They was trying to take something they really couldn't take. They were just trying to use the example of the physical representations to think that that was what it was. And you gave them too much of that energy by adding to the conversation of thinking it was just you too. And then God would take it from you, and then they'd run around and think they got it, mimicking the physical representation, and they ain't never had it spiritually either. So God would take it from you, they'd think they have it and didn't have it, it'll lose up. So none of y'all got it. So that you got to protect what God give you, because God will take it from you, and the other person will think they got it, and then they'll lose it faster than you even would have had to sustain it. You would have had to sustain it longer. They get it, lose it just as fast as they got it from you, and none of y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? Now none of y'all got it. Now both of y'all somewhere sitting from a distance, watching a television screen or something else, or some other skull or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Skull gang, you know what I'm saying? Walking on this is my version of red bottoms, walking on skull. But yeah, you put yourself in a situation where now you got to be jealous and stuff. You got to be sitting, God sat you down somewhere, whether it's the loss of relationship, living condition, jail, whatever like that. And you got to think. Now you got to say stuff like, yeah, I should have did this. I would have did that. I would have did that. I was just about to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that start hurting. That hurt when you're in those energies. You be in some situation where you can't do it though, but you got all the ideas how you wish you should have, could have, and you had the ability to, oh man, that hurt. That hurt. I don't know which one is worse, because I ain't been in none of these situations, but I travel to these places and stuff. What prevents me from getting in these situations? I can only imagine a person going through a divorce or in jail at the moment and having to deal with that. Depending on how much you cared about that person, because you know once you get that little separation, that's when it start to hit you. Damn, we really separated from a whole bunch of tit for tat that we can't come back from. Oh, it was the spirit. It was the spirit. I bet you're getting into religion now and stuff. And then when you're in jail, you be sitting down like, dang, yeah, all I had to do was go to the studio that time, or all I had to do was hang around that homie. That homie was the cool. That was the homie I was really fronting on with all the everybody I wasn't supposed to be around. The dude I'm in jail with right now. I hope I don't see him. I'm glad they separated us. I don't want to be cool with him in here. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be a lot of stuff like that. A lot of y'all be having a homeboy that y'all be fronting on sometimes, because you always think that homeboy gonna be there. And a lot of times it be the homeboy who probably got the parents with a good job or something like that, so they had the little stuff that you probably wanted and stuff, but you thought they was always gonna be there, whether the studio or whatever the case, and you was fronting on them with the cat you in jail with right now, the other homeboys you in jail with, and you thinking like, man, when I'm gonna get out, man, I'm gonna fuck with homeboy. You know what I'm saying? You thinking then this might be too late. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody want to mess with no jailbird after a row. Like somebody that we around you, or somebody around you like that, because I ain't like that, but I had to get it on my own or whatever. But based upon me having an intelligent mind or whatever the case may be, I'm still able to be in a situation where I'm still the intelligent homie. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people be in situations where, you know what I'm saying, it be after something already said and done, then they want to double back and stuff like, and you be like, damn, you be thinking in your mind, where was your mind at the whole time when you was around? Where was your mind at? You know what I'm saying? Why did it take 6 months? Why did it take 9 months? Why did it take 18 months? You know what I'm saying? Being locked down. You know what I'm saying? Because people talk real good on the phone once they lock down. Talk real good when they back out and stuff after 6 months passed, after 8 months passed. Like, you should have been talking like that 8 months ago. I was like, you be hearing it, you be like, I was already saying all that. You know what I'm saying? I was already saying that. I said that already. You ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just repeat it now. Then that get frustrated to the intelligent homies. You know what I'm saying? That get frustrated to the intelligent homies. Like, man, you just now sound like you kind of like trying to rock something to sleep. Like, you think I care about you saying that now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I'm getting the studio. I want to hear your rap. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I don't even hear your rap now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm about to be in the studio now. Yeah, remember you said that? Yeah, I'm about to be in the studio every day. Not mine. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole 6-8 months apiece. And other endeavors. You know what I'm saying? You start thinking like, yeah, matter of fact, you was messing up all my songs. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Start thinking real good after a while. So like, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just get into the energies, how to move when it comes into the full moon man and Leo. Like I said, the main expressions right now when it comes into the characteristics itself is fixed fire, being fixated on one's own way of seeing and feeling about things. So if you extra enticed or extra worried about how you appear to be to others, you're going to lead into a people-pleasing situation that's going to be out of your hands. And you're going to manifest something when the moon going to Virgo and Libra that you can't handle. When the moon going to Virgo, you're going to have to react or respond to these people asking you for too much of stuff that, or making you worry about stuff you shouldn't be worried about. Probably even money and stuff like that. Moon going to Libra, you still dealing with holding up this character from people, places, or things, or the situation you start to switch your current relationship in. And now they leaning on you with some Virgo energy, and now communicating, trying to initiate it all the time, in that favor. So go in their favor once the moon go into Libra and stuff like that. Then you're going to be like, damn, I don't even like this character no more because the moon ain't in Leo no more. Then if, let's say you got the sun, moon, or ascendant, specifically the sun in Leo, you might get comfortable with it. You might start not knowing what else to do but do that, because you're trying to be liked and stuff like that. So you come up with creative ways to be liked, because you're going to always be waiting for that appreciation to be gave back in that perfect time that you be setting up. Yeah, I'm going to get this person. I can't wait to this day, because this day I'm going to have this person with me. Then we're going to go to this person, and that's the right time to go to this person. Then I'm going to show off, and this person going to give me all the praise, and this person, and I'm going to bring up that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, when you don't get that sometimes, you start thinking in your own mind, I'm going to separate my energy from everybody. In your mind, you think that means people going to hell. You think that means somebody about to die or something. You think that means somebody's feelings about to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, Leo's got to get out of that energy sometimes. Nobody be giving a damn. Oh, in front of that. Only Leos be sitting around thinking like that. They're like, yeah. They try me. I'ma separate my energy. They use that like they about to lock somebody up or murder somebody or something like that. They use that like somebody gonna disappear in thin air just cause you wanna disappear or something like that, or you wanna separate your energy, or you wanna switch up the energy you was giving them normally. You wanna switch that up when you come around them, and you want them to start thinking what you made up in your own mind what they gonna think. You made up in your own mind, yeah, if I switch my energy in they mind, they feelings gonna be hurt, they gonna be thinking what's wrong and stuff like that. They're gonna be trying to like over talk to me and stuff. Everybody gonna give a damn. That. Don't hurt yourself, Leo. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt your pride, Leo. Don't hurt you. That. Ain't nobody gonna give a damn, and that's gonna hurt you more. They give you the reaction and responses you came up in your own mind. No, I'm saying, you're like, you gonna get up and go home. In your mind, you'll be like, yep, that did it. They gonna call me. They gonna call me 1,000 times, and I'm gonna make sure I don't answer. I'm just gonna answer on the 999th time. You know what I'm saying? They ain't called one time. Your pride hurt. They ain't called one. Your pride hurt. You gotta like secretly start figuring out how to lower your ego and figure out your pride to get back into this normal state that you done over exaggerated and made problems bigger than what they was. Oh, you gotta stop. I don't know why the Leo sign ain't an elephant. You always making elephants in the room. I think the Leo sign need to be elephant. I'm saying real stuff. Making small problems big. Last time I checked, an elephant start running around crazy. They see a little mice. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta peep game and stuff. Like I think, yeah, you care. You want to be the biggest in the room. You want to the horn. Yeah, that's just as loud as the goddamn lion roar and stuff like that. Yeah, that's all you want to. I played Street Fighter, Dawsium level and stuff with the little. I'm saying the elephant in the back. You start kicking ass and stuff like that, and you win, and at the end, like, you win. You know what I'm saying? You just, I played that. So yeah, I think Leos need to be elephant. Over. But yeah, nobody gonna give a damn. So don't hurt yourself during this particular time. And the sun is in Aquarius, so people can't wait till you do that right now, because people gonna look at you as predictable. The energies of Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus is fixed. So these are fixed energies. So you're going to have predictability qualities and things of that nature. And for the most part, if you over exaggerate and express the characteristics of Leo, they're going to set you up. You know what I'm saying? So a person can't wait, because they're going to know that's what you care about. And anytime a person can see what you care about, if they want to, based upon their own animosity, they add on to it. You know what I'm saying? And they start adding to it and stuff, and just because they know how you're going to react, and they know that they messing with your mind and stuff like that. And for the most part, once you give a person that, there ain't no telling when they put their foot off your spiritual neck. And so don't be giving people that, because a spirit don't be having their own energy. People be, especially lazy spirits that ain't got no creativity. A lot of creative spirits don't even be having time to do that. And when they do got time to do that, they had to be messed with by a friend, family, associate, co-worker, someone that share their interests or something like that, or the same expertise or business world that they in. And then when you ain't got a lot of percentage scale in that whole negative world itself, when you do exercise it, you kick spiritual. Someone who ain't more on the creator side of life, they got a whole lot of time to still be creative, just in that negative world. So they got a whole lot of time to be creative in that attribute and stuff like that, and they're attached and do all kind of negative stuff. Oh, I had another point. Let me not miss my point. By a friend, family, associate, they messing with your mind and stuff like that. Yeah. So they get creative. That's where they start to get their power at. Drinking from you, wherever you think you creative at, lower it up. Create doubtful energy. Set you up and act like they're for you, and then when you validate the need for them, not show up for you, right? The moment you react and differ of the quality you built up that make you be in that creative expression or like the thing, that's them. They took it from you. They took gold from you, but they don't know how to produce that gold. So they're not going to know how to do something with it externally as good as you. Let's use an example of music. They're not going to be able to make a song as good as you, but they done stole some of your light, and now they're getting attention from your light, took your gold. Now, when they got the light, got the attention from everybody else, they come out with some trash, though. A crash out artist or something like that. Oh, whatever the case may be. And if you let somebody get away with that, God needs you to fight now. You're going to get messages from God, and then you might be scared to do it. You scared to get power from God. God going to take it from both of y'all. You ain't going to have it no more. And everybody looking at this person, and this person trash, and they ain't never had it. They was just living off the little piece they took from you. And God took it from both of y'all monkey. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody do that to you. Don't let nobody do that to you. You know what I'm saying? God give you all the ideas to know how to defend yourself before it get out of hand, and none of y'all got it no more. You can't be running to God after that. You too far from God. You got to do a whole mission in other areas that ain't even got nothing to do with what you want, which you was going to be in the light of. You know, that's God. That's you being in a deserted land. God put you in a deserted land. Because you really put yourself there. You just wasn't thinking like God. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be aware of these things. Don't let nobody do that to you. And it's scavengers out here. And here's the thing. A lot of times people don't even plan it. You make the monster. You know what I'm saying? You make the narc. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a person who don't, going back, because I'm a master orator. It'd be a person who don't know how to get that nowhere else and built their own creative gold. So that's their only way of feeling that energy. Everybody want to feel fulfilled, especially when people make their own gold, right? So once you give a person an inch, they go a mile. Now, for the most part, this person is needing you in the spiritual world, but you have allowed yourself to be open so it can appear that you need them in the physical world. Now you created a monster. Now you created a narc. And it'll be certain things that you know you was been supposed to let them know spiritually and physically. You don't need them on. So don't go adding them. Don't go being on your own, adding ideas, really like plotting on you. I call that plotting on you. Y'all ever had like friends, family, associates, co-worker, it could be anybody, plotting on you? Like, let's say you got a best friend or something like that, and they don't make as much as you, so you got your check, but it be patterns start happening, even if it come to borrowing money and stuff like that. And after a while, you got to start questioning, is this person to themselves and when they're around other people we know actually making discussions on things that depend on what I'm doing or whatever, and then that's what it's called, plotting or whatever the case. You'll have friends, all kind of stuff, plotting on whole bar weekends and club weekends on your check and stuff like that. You don't be knowing them deep conversations they be having. They be like, yeah, Jimmy get paid Friday. Oh yeah, so yeah, we broke, so yeah, we know he or she gonna have, or Sally, she gonna have a whip. So yeah, when we call her, she gonna have a whip and she get paid. Let's butter her up so we know she gonna be happy, so she ain't thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be doing a whole plotting. Y'all got to be careful. It be plots going on y'all. Y'all be opening yourselves up to it. Know what I'm saying? And then it be playing out in other areas where you don't realize it built up from another area that you have opened yourself up and allowed this person to physically think that you need them, because in the spiritual world they wasn't about nothing and they ain't built their own gold. So you don't want them to feel alone because you got this seniority towards them, because you went to high school with them, or they was your next door neighbor or something. You met them through somebody else, and you knew them from a long period of time. So y'all said, so these things start to come into play where you but you can't see, ain't no words for that world, but all of our spirits be knowing, and these spirits be knowing too. They just be more lost, so they're more in the convincing energy of which you have allowed them to be next to you with. So now you done made too much of the physical representation that it ain't that in the spiritual representation. So when we in our mind bodies in the spiritual world, swimming in our mental swimming pools in our spaceship, you ain't really need this person for that. You really was just trying to make them feel good that day. And they done over exaggerated how you expressed yourself to them. Now they think that, you know what I'm saying? They think you can't even come up with nothing in the studio, or you can't even put a building block together at your construction job without them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, nah. I bought them a little bit too many drinks on that last bar. You know what I'm saying? So you got a peep game, and there'll be a lot of that going on too right now. And like I said, you're going to have a whole bunch of people unfulfilled during this particular time also. So you might be in an energy where you fulfilled, and now you got family, friends, associates, and co-workers unfulfilled, and they can still put you in a compromising situation during this particular time also. And so you could be a witness, a victim, or the cause of something, or have to witness something because you out and about at the wrong time, wrong place. You have already, even if you want to, like, it's cold out. You know what I'm saying? So even if you the type of individual, especially if you got Virgo somewhere in your chart, you about to go get prepared up. You about to go get all the food or whatever the case you need to be, your necessities, your drinks, your alcohol, however the case may be, and stuff like that, right? Now you're going to have family, friends, associates, and co-workers and stuff like that ain't thinking like that. Now they're calling you to come out. You know what I'm saying? Or they're calling you for your necessity, your good harvesting quality, or whatever the case may be, because that's what you call that. That's good harvesting quality. So for the most part, boom, now you got to harvest again, due to the fact of what you just had to give, or what you had to separate from or sacrifice, or whatever the case may be, due to the fact of you having friends or whatever the case not up on game. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you even like checking out other people's energy and seeing that they in a unfulfilled position at this moment, whether they're Leo energies or not, especially if they squared up. They might got Scorpio in their chart, Taurus in their chart, or they may be what we supposed to do or not do. As an example, having Aquarius in their chart, and they just a negative spirit, not a good spirit at the moment. So they're on the negative side of energy. So they're going to be the example of everything not to do, not the example of what to do with their Aquarius energy. And you need to check their actions. If they all over the place like a chicken with no head, it could be on a small percentage scale. But if it's a necessity that they lack at the moment, and you may have percentage scales of that, you may have external representations of that, or you know that you probably could be an anchor or that link to them getting it, whether you're the one with the whip, or whether it could be anything, and even an emotional state, or a thought form. And even that conversation, don't dive too far in it and stuff like that, because it'll still put you in that situation. Now you got this negative feeling throughout seconds, minutes, hours throughout the day, and then that can manifest until later on down the line, even when the moon going to Virgo and you dealing with a situation that is so mixed up because it wasn't all your fault, but you still added to it. So it is that accumulation of Leo, but it's going to be mixed in with Virgo, and you might be confused, but it's still a situation you accumulated from Leo, and it still got you dealing with someone's character or your appearance or how you appear to be someone looked at with a little shade on it or animosity on it. And you got to deal with it in a Virgo way, but with the Leo energy. And then now you get ready to get set up, moons behind, and have to develop being set back and deal with stuff and manifest frustrating situations, not even just due to the fact of your own volition, just because you got somebody in your life who ain't fulfilled at this moment. You see what I'm saying? They put you into that. And this is, it'll play out like in many ways. Even play out as a lot of times you having to take up other people's problems, or you having to take this person to work, and the time you got to take them to work that you have already accepted may kind of cross hairs with the time that you doing something else, and you forgot that you had to do that day, and you just remember. So now it create that little frustrating concept. You see what I'm saying? So anytime you're dealing with the frustrating element itself, that means your moon's behind. And depending on the level of frustration, that means how many moons you're behind. If it's on a small percentage scale, it's what I'm explaining now. Yeah, you took a piece from the last moon, piece from the other moon. It ain't that deep that your life and what you doing is going to create big setbacks. It's just so what you're already doing and what you like to do, 10 seconds here, 20 seconds there, you witness a frustration. 10 minutes here, you witness, oh, let me take a break and go to this. Maybe, and I get back to that. Oh, why I can't do, you know what I'm saying? It play out like that. Large percentage scales when you're dealing with frustrations, like you just can't deal with the stuff you have to do currently. The stuff you're dealing with currently is manifested from where the moon will be at currently and stuff like that. And how it's mixed in with all the other stuff, because that's the fastest moving. But how it's mixed in with the sun and other alignments and stuff. But for the most part, stuff that take you completely off that let you know you a few moons behind. Moons ago. You probably in that moon sign. But when that moon was in that sign 5 years ago, you probably like, Dolo, this is pseudo. How? We can make this make sense. You was in a situation, you probably was in a breakup, a bad breakup 5 years ago. And you're still in that energy now and dealing with it now and stuff like that. And depending on how grave of a situation it was, who knows? It could have been an Ike and Tina Turner situation and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That was like 5 years ago, and you still dealing with getting hit upside your head every time you see Homegirl Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. You still getting hit and sliced with knives and getting scratched and your skin getting peeled off with long nails that they just got done and stuff like that. If you run into Homeboy Sisters. You know what I'm saying? And his drunk auntie and his mother that ain't got no sense. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? It's this. You might want to tie that to reality, but when you broaden your awareness, you tie it to the same thing. You're like, okay, yeah, that still makes sense though. I'm moons behind, because just like I was born and the moon and the sun was only in that sign, when I went through that nasty breakup or before I went to jail, the moon and the sun was only in that sign, and the moon and the sun in a whole different sign right now, and I'm still dealing with it. And that was like 500 moon cycles ago, because it was about 5 years. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, still got to understand it makes sense. And when you're able to look at that for yourself, you're able to put yourself in a better position in your life currently to prevent these things. And sit back and be like, dang, this is all I'm experiencing with everybody I know, because this is everybody in life. You deal with life, right? So you're able to sit back and be more intelligent out of the family, friends, associates, and coworkers, and be able to compare and contrast who don't want to be helped and who should be helped, where you start wasting your time on that energy too. Because a lot of y'all have friends where you ain't got them friendships no more, but you also experience like situations that you overhelped, and you start to realize you ain't have to do that much. You know what I'm saying? You did all that for nothing. So it feel like a piece of you is gone forever. And we do that so often when we share things with people, relationships, businesses, concepts, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it just didn't work out. Not only is it that person, it's what y'all was creating together, and that's an energy too. And a piece of both of y'all is gone. So don't ever think another person don't think similar. Everybody thinks similar. Other people act harder physically than others, and that might blind you to make you think this person don't care as much. Just unless they do, especially when y'all go through this. Let's say you a dude and you had a nasty breakup with a female, but she act extremely hard. What do I mean by that? Not hard like fighting because we from the hood, but hard emotionally, like just doing things like she completely don't care. If it's extreme, that's just on the other polar shift of her showing you she care. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand it. So a lot of times, how you want her to show she caring is what she actually running from. And based upon you having that time with her, both of y'all know the ins and out of what y'all care or don't care about. So that'd be something she's running away from if y'all not together, because she know that's the last piece left that possibly can make the care strong enough to bring y'all together. Now, depending on the breakup or whatever the case may be, neither of y'all or one or the other may not want to be back together. So that'll be a tactic she's doing. So it ain't necessarily her trying to hurt your feelings. She know that's what you care about, but it's also another tactic because she care and she's thinking that she continuously do it. Hopefully the care could fade away, and whoever she's doing it with, especially if it's another guy, hopefully whatever he's doing can speed up the process. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times it ain't all about you, and you'll be getting, especially if you a Leo, you'll probably be getting hurt even more and stuff like that, and thinking that she's doing it intentionally. And a lot of times it's more on a percentage scale of what she may be doing personally for herself to get over it. You know what I'm saying? It's just y'all connected. So it's just playing out in them kind of ways and stuff. But, you know, creativity, expression, appearance, how things appear to be, being the cause or the effect of something. These are the main attributes to chill out on. If you're doing it natural and it's something you're already doing and you're not in that energy like, oh, I missed something. Oh, I got to do this. I got to make sure it look like this before I do it. Or you already about to manifest something to even go even worse. So I'm saying, and if you got to try to jump into something like, I want to be the cause, I want people to know this creativity, you already going to get hit with the opposite devil's advocate energy, bow and arrow, negative Cupid of Aquarius energy. So somebody going to shoot it down, even if it is a good gift, or a good talent or something that needs to be seen. The reasoning behind it, wrong place, wrong time, wrong reasoning. So the motivation behind it is going to have no choice but to be opposite of what the thing you doing. So you may be doing things for reasons that the thing that you doing really ain't supportive of. So you might look like a virtue signaler. You might look like you trying to be the face of something and it ain't even happen to you. Or you trying to express your creativity right now because you just really want to boost your ego. It ain't really because of the creativity. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times before you know it, it'll be larger on a percentage scale of you just doing something because it's lit right now, or it already got information in it that's getting attention. So it defeats half the battle of something you have to do from grassroots. So you can add on something to it and just be the face of it and receive all the benefits from it or something like that. And those going to get you in sticky situations these next 3 days. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Try to do everything right now when it comes into and feel comfortable about yourself when it comes into your character, how you think people see you, your appearance, your creative attributes, you know what I'm saying, and how you express yourself. And if you're coming across the way you express yourself, and let's say you create a minor animosity and you got a little shade on your light because maybe a misunderstanding with a close one or a family friend, associate, coworker, or a stranger or something like that. Try not to oversolve the problem, but also try not to completely sweep it under the rug. Let it flow. If you try to create too much of a solution or deal with it too much, even if it's negative, it's going to play out negative. It's going to not play out in your favor. You might think you bigger and badder than someone right now. Even if you are, and you got all the access to even destroy them, the reason behind it is going to get shot down. God is going to stop you from doing it. It might play out in a way of people who close to you, or even the situation itself. It'll play out like oh, you weak because you got the ability to do it. So that make you weak if you about to use your ability to do it. You know what I'm saying? And then they put you in a bully light or something. You know what I'm saying? So don't even get into that. Don't even get into none of that. Just chill out. And a lot of y'all gonna get pushed to get into that energy too if you still dealing with like family, friends, and associates and coworkers. So you gotta be at work right now where there's still pieces of animosity floating around, still elephants in the room. Try to, like I said, don't sweep it all the way up under the rug, but don't try to deal with it head on right now either. It's all devil's advocate energy going on right now. And if you the main one, the main protagonist that's adding a percentage scale, and in your mind you might be thinking it might be for the right cause. You're just putting yourself in a line of fire of sun being opposite of the moon. So you're going to get hit with some fixated way, stubborn way. You ain't even going to be able to convince it. Even if you right. Whether that it is a person, place, or thing, it's going to be some stubborn, fixated quality about a thought process, and you ain't going to be able to get that person out of that thought or whatever the case. And if they look at you like they don't like you already, ain't nothing you going to do to make them like you. They're going to be pulling from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, well, I'm a good person here. They're going to pull from here. No, but you a negative person. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but remember I did this right? But nah, but you ain't do it the right time I need you to do it. Especially if you're talking to a manager. Oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? So, peak game, like, don't try not to just, if you're more in the spiritual space of, I don't want to, but if I have to. That's the best words I could pull from that space that you can tie in. Add it like an XM radio or another gadget to your spaceship. So when you in these situations as a spiritual space soul and you inside of your spaceship, you got this other gadget to remind you when you're filling up your gas tank so you can fully go the distance and not get stuck in that situation and have to persevere. And you can't go the distance and accomplish, aka complete your day and go ahead and clock out. So your pay stub could go ahead and do that, and you put on that fake smile and it worked. And you had to go upside nobody's goddamn head at work that day. Mentally or physically. Hopefully not physically. Because mentally it really be when y'all go on break. Y'all say, like, oh man. Then when you take that half an hour break, there you go. You whooping, kicking all kind of spiritual out in your head. And a lot of y'all who smoke cigarettes, but y'all already know. Y'all say y'all smoke cigarettes. Y'all go back to the dumpster or the break room or something like that. Hit that first swig. You done already did about 23. Gat. If you a female, Chung Lee kicks upside that person's head. Or goddammit, Bullrog or what's his name? Gun Drew. You know what I'm saying? He did like 100 punches at one time or some shit like that. What's his name? I forget his name. Dawsium? No, not Dawsium. I forget his name. E-Honda. No, yeah, E-Honda. Say hit you with a million hits like E-Honda. You took that first swing. You done already threw dude off the bridge. You done took that second swing of that goddamn Marlboro. That can't. I was thinking a lot of y'all can't afford Newport, so it's like, I don't even smoke cigarettes. But yeah, you did. You done hit the second swing and stuff like that. You done already threw him in front of a train track. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff like that whole half an hour be cold in your brain, in your mind and stuff. I said Brian. That might be a new word for your brain and your mind connected. Brian. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you done already did that and stuff in your head and stuff. Then a half an hour up and stuff, you go back in and where you like, oh, this cat's still here. Didn't I throw this cat off the Empire State Building? I said you're thinking like this cat's still here. Oh man, you gotta put on another fake smile and clock out 2 hours later. Yeah, it'd be good to go. Then just make sure you train your mind that you can do that every day. You know what I'm saying? And train your spirit to be stronger. You'll be there longer than homeboy. Trust me, because homeboy, he'll fail eventually. Whatever he did to you, he did to somebody else. You the stronger spirit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about character right now. You know what I'm saying? So just peep game and don't over-exaggerate yours. And if people ain't digging your creativity, whatever that may be at the moment, whatever the job, lawyer, however the case, try not to be in that energy of, wait, they didn't see this. I feel like this, so I feel like they need to see this. They'll feel me because fire represents seeing and feeling. Water represent emotions and feeling. Air represent thinking and communicating. Earth represent thinking and practicality. So we got fixed fire going on right now. So we got seeing and feeling in the modality of fixated. So people are gonna be fixated on their way of seeing and feeling about things, which is you. And you might want someone to see it that way. And if they not getting how you made up that seeing, your internal fire feeling, before it become the water, the emotion, the cloud, and before it become the air, the elements, and before it become the earth, rooted and practical, right? Here you go expressing yourself to get it out of them. And whatever that reaction, that feeling you get, if it ain't the one you seen inside before you develop the feeling, the vision, so you know what I'm saying, that's the fire, seeing and feeling. Here you go trying to take how you made it up in your mind and start trying to express it through your feelings and your external expressions, then hopefully they get it. And if they're not getting it, and you keep going too far, you're going to end up in a full moon situation or something like that. Somebody might go upside your head, depending on the situation. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a close one, or whatever the case may be. They might act like they ain't listening no more because they care enough about you to just not outright say, man, shut up. You sweating off my eardrums now. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all get into them. I'm telling you, it don't matter if you're a Leo or not right now. Get it. Let something pop in your mind you interested about talking about. Here you go, not being able to shut up. You know what I'm saying? So don't get mad at your family members, friends, and associates right now if you don't know you going too far and you're going to experience a small percentage scale of a full moon energy. Your little pride, ego getting hurt based off the conversation you having, you not getting the reciprocation you usually get. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to hear all that right now. Yeah, trying to hear all that right now. Shh, be quiet. Tonight is the night. We not riding. You shutting up tonight. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You shutting up. But yeah, that's for the energies though. When it comes into Leo. So that's how to move. You know what I'm saying? Depending on your endeavors, like especially when it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, specifically entertainment. You might got certain obligations during these times. So your job is to overexpress the character, but also behind closed doors, behind the scenes, you're going to be in this energy by default, because if you got any event or anything, things you got to do the natural thing. Make sure everything all right. Like, oh, do this person got this together? Oh, is we on time? Like those type of energies. That by default put you on the negative side of the full moon. So watch yourself. You're shaking many hands, touching many objects. That's like a revolving door, because you're going into places, buildings, touching car doors and stuff like that. Many spirits inside of a mind and body that didn't touch that. And who knows where they mind at. And when you have to deal with doing events and being in places, you're dealing with a lot of people who have to be there also. Bunch of crazies. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, that alone, you're absorbed a little bit. So be careful. All y'all celebrities, be careful. This is why it ain't all about celebrities. It's for everyday people life. But this is why celebrities be the first example for people to talk about, because it's a thing. It's a happening. So when your spirit is inside of your first body, your mind, right, and your physical body also, you are interacting with a lot of other people's minds and body. So the event is already impactful. Anytime you're dealing with a lot, even if you're by yourself, dealing with a lot of thoughts and feelings. But if you're around others, it's the same thing going on. So it's already the mechanism of the world. Y'all all attached to the happening. So it just so happens y'all plan out the sky. We all the stars plan out the sky. But it's a full moon. So spiritually, you're supposed to understand when something is full, it's fulfilled. The natural energy is we're facing the opposite direction of where the sun is emanated based upon your geographical location. So your solar plexus is your sun. Your moon, how you react, that'll be what we're considering opposite. So when you're playing this out externally, having this naturally for yourself, what you're giving light to can experience opposing circumstances. Opposite foundations. So when you try to shine your light, the reaction attached to the moon, the tides, the vibe is in the opposite position. So what may have got you in a validated position, get you in an unvalidated position during this particular time. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at it within that lens of connection, It allows you to understand it from a spiritual lens, being inside of your first body, your mind, and how much of that you're going to give off and have others pay attention to. And you know that's not the thing to do right now, because the moon is in Leo and it's already fulfilled. So if you're not fulfilled with the character of expression, or trying to express your creativity, or be worried or care about your appearance too much, or how something coming across, or your characteristic, then you're going to add to the energy that's already full. So you experience full impact of that energy itself. And it just so happens to play out in human and animals, bugs, and parasite lives as catastrophic events. See what I'm saying? So be careful, everybody. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Flight boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Erect the swahil, hold that yellow hoop. Massasoit, mama na toy. Hee hee, woo. Masasaki.